All right, it's time for board comments, and typically I always give the floor to you all first, but I would, if you don't mind, I would like to speak first on some comments that I have prepared for today regarding a pretty serious issue in my view. I want to talk about today's latest buzzword. Misinformation is often used, but I'm not going to call what CCEA's leadership, their emails to their members, as misinformation. I'm going to call it what it is. It's lies. I personally find their conduct malicious and bordering on unethical. I would say there are some people in leadership that may need to justify their large salaries paid for by union members. So creating a fake crisis and a call to action unfairly and misrepresenting the facts is wrong. So let me talk about facts and truth. Despite what union leadership has told the media, one comment, it was in Wink News, referred to the board as disrespectful to teachers, that we have been lowballing teachers for the last 3 years. Let me give the facts, and this, Ms. Van Paris, thank you for bringing up the website, because the website has an enormous amount of website. Thank you, Maribel. On the website, it shows we have raised teacher pay. The base pay is the third highest in the state out of 67 counties. Last year, for the 24-25 year, this board, the district leadership, increased teacher salaries by 11.65%. The year before that, 12.5% increase on top of a one-time $1,000 bonus, and in 2023, it was a 9.7 increase. I hardly call that lowball and disrespectful. Average teacher salary in Collier County is now $74,271. Again, all this information is factual, found on the website. So on September 25th, this is where things took a turn, in my view. CCEA's leadership sent out a deceitful email to members, and it actually stated, and I'm going to quote it, this is the quote, "At yesterday's meeting, the district made a counteroffer to the CCEA salary proposal. Under the district proposal, all teachers would receive $385, and highly effective teachers on the performance salary schedule would receive an additional $220. You read that correctly. The district offered you an increase of $385. That money that they are referring to was not a counteroffer. It is the teacher salary incentive allocation, the TSIA, which the state allocated to the district. Governor DeSantis started this, 3 years ago, to pay teachers more money. This is guaranteed dollars from the state. Because this deals with wages, the district drafted the MOU, a memorandum of understanding, that this money should be distributed to teachers by the October 1st deadline, and it clearly stated in the MOU that, and I'm going to say this, I'll say it 100 times, the board is committed to providing salary increases beyond the TSIA amount. That's a fact. It's in writing. What CCEA leaders told members was a bold-faced lie. Because they refused to sign the MOU, teachers will not receive the guaranteed increase in their mid-October paychecks. So thank your union leadership for that. Following this email that was sent out by the union, district sent out a response in an I-briefing, which unfortunately I don't think very many people read the I-briefing, which included the MOU. So, and I will always say this, documentation beats conversation all the time. The clickbait from the union leadership was more appealing than the I-briefing. So that was read, unfortunately this wasn't. I'm gonna also make something else very clear. And I think for those of you who've known me over the years, I am not a pro-union person. When I was a teacher, I was not a member of the union, but I am pro-teacher. As I said, I was a teacher. My reason for not supporting unions have to do with this exact type of conduct, which in my opinion is dirty politics. How many members pay dues to the union because they were told that they are protected if there's a lawsuit? In case you were unaware, Florida Statute 1012.75 guarantees free liability coverage for all full-time educators. Don't need to be part of the union. Despite my personal feelings about unions, I have worked very hard, personally, to build bridges with union leaders over these last few years in hopes we could work together for the best interests of teachers, and we did until now. When I ran for school board in 2022, I campaigned on paying teachers a higher salary. And I think we stuck by that promise despite any union actions. Our board and district leadership are committed to ensuring teachers are paid more, as evidenced by the over $60 million increases in the last 3 years. After these last 3 years of working well together, these actions by union leadership are abhorrent and do not show any good faith whatsoever. Yesterday afternoon, it takes another turn. My school board email inbox starts becoming flooded with what appears to be a form letter the union leaders drafted so that teachers could just copy and paste the lies spewed by the union. And I would venture to guess that most of these teachers trust that the information they're getting from the union is factual and accurate. So now they're basically repeating these lies. Phrases were used like, quote, insults both our professional commitment and our dignity. Another phrase, we are not asking for luxuries. Another phrase, because of this disrespect, many teachers are choosing to work to contract only for now. We refuse to continue subsidizing the district's budget shortfalls with our labor. This is so insulting to me personally, after I feel we have shown nothing but respect and valued our teachers. And it was beyond the financial side. I know when I first met with Dr. Riccadelli after she came on as interim was, here are things we're hearing that teachers are dissatisfied with. It's not just the salaries. So what are things that we can do right now to improve their lives? And we started doing those things immediately. To say that we disrespect teachers is so gross and dishonest. Then the letter continues to go on. This is really, you can tell I'm very fired up. It says, number one, here's their demands, that this is the union drafted that now teachers are sharing, to be clear. One, withdraw the insulting $605 proposal. That's not our proposal. That's the state guaranteed money. Am I correct? You're correct. Thank you. Number two, present a serious salary plan grounded in living wage data, cost of living metrics, and competitive regional benchmarks. The last 3 years, we have been working towards making that right for teachers. Number three, engage in transparent negotiation with teacher representatives and community stakeholders. Go watch the meetings. They're on the website, and I'm going to get to those shortly. Number four, commit publicly to treating teachers with respect, not foot-dragging or lowball offers. This is what it said. You all got it, yep. Many of them. I'm sure you're probably pretty fired up too. So let me address those demands. One, I already addressed that. Why would we withdraw the money that's guaranteed to them? So it should have been in their paychecks coming up, but it's not. Okay. Let me go back to, okay, so back to the negotiation meetings. They're on our website. I went and watched them, listened to them, and I would like to publicly commend Mr. Andy Brown, who's in the audience today, and his negotiations team for their professionalism, for their composure. Because I will tell you this, I couldn't have done what they did in that room with what was thrown at them. And it was insults and grandstanding, unacceptable. So thank you for what you did in that room and for being committed to helping our teachers. So anyway, go watch for yourself. Don't take my word for it. So again, in those meetings, you'll see they made it very clear, Mr. Brown made it very clear that negotiations would be ongoing, but we wanted to ensure that the deadline was met for that TSIA, period. It's real simple. I will say this because I think the leadership at the state level is definitely not pro-union, and they're not going to look too kindly on these low-level shenanigans by union leadership. And especially when we've got the documentation to show the good faith efforts that our negotiation teams put forward. I will not sit back and be lied about or misrepresented. And I think the union leadership knows me by now. After all these years, you can throw insults at me, I don't care. My skin is pretty thick after all these years. But if you're gonna lie about me, I'm not gonna sit down quietly. And I will speak the truth and stand up to bullies. Finally, I have been nothing but professional and respectful to union leadership, despite the fact that many of them unfairly judged me and didn't treat me so well. I hope there will be some serious reflection and course correction for some individuals. And I will finish my comments with a quote I found that I thought was very relevant. The echo of truth may be drowned in the noise of deception, but it cannot be destroyed. Thank you. Mr. Rutherford.